Alaska Airlines had a little training center down at 4th and Wall, downtown Seattle. Got approved and everything, and they said, well, we need some pilots. You want to be a pilot? And that was May 12th of 1961. I think they had 64 pilots because I got a kick out of it one time many years later when they began to build the 737 fleet. They had 64 airplanes that they were putting on order. And I said, wow, I think my number was 64 when I hired on.
1947, my father got hired by Hawaiian Airlines. After I graduated from college, I was hired as a cleaner, cleaning airplanes. I used the money I made to pay for my flying lessons. And then in 1978, I got hired at Hawaiian as a pilot. I couldn't think of doing anything else. It was my life. I grew up with it. I wouldn't give it up for anything.
Hawaiian is a little different than a lot of the airlines in that it's centralized here in the islands in the middle of the Pacific. There were no commercial operators flying airplanes between the islands. Hawaiian is the first opportunity for people to ride on airplanes. Initially, the flying was quite raw. Some islands did not have airports or runways. So if he didn't have a runway available, they'd fly the seaplane and he'd land on the water. Things were quite primitive back then, so there was a lot of sweat and backaches, I'm sure, from flying those airplanes.
On some planes, pontoons are replaced with skis in the winter for landing on ice and snow.
Southeast Alaska was a lot of bush flying. That's running on gravel runways and snow and all that stuff, and non-precision approaches. An approach into Sitka in a 727, there was a set of rocks and a buoy, so you'd turn to a heading and you'd fly on this heading right towards a mountain until these islands would come up on your left, and you just turn right around those islands and you line up with Sitka Airport out ahead of you, so everything's cool.
When I started Hawaiian, we were operating two DC-930s that were in a rapid change configuration, which means that they flew passengers during the day, pull the seats out of the airplane, and fly cargo at night.
On our island hopping tour, the wide view windows of the plane are really picture windows for photographers.
They started the flight seat operation, which was islands in the sky. So we took these 4-engine turboprop airplanes that flew air tours around the islands, and you started at 5 in the morning and you got off work about 5 or 6 in the evening, and you stayed with the passengers all day and flew them around. And as you made your stops, tour buses would show up, they'd jump on the tour bus, do a ground tour, and we go and eat lunch.
My first job at Alaska Airlines was flying the Boeing 727, the coolest airplane there is. We were lucky to all get a chance to fly it. It was such a cool, rewarding, safe airplane to fly. It was really an awesome thing for me to be able to be the guy who was on the first flight to Kona. All the ground ops personnel came out onto the ramp when we arrived. And it was so awesome. We can't forget this kind of stuff.
In 1983, the new management at the time decided to enter the long-haul air charter business. When Desert Shield started and Desert Storm, we were all in that operation. We needed the money, and the crews are willing to do the work and support our country. That contributed to the growth of the airline.
I never thought we were going to be what we are today. It was never ever on the map, but it surely took off. Not only are we flying our passengers and carrying people to and from, we're representing our state, we're representing our culture. We carry that flag, so it means a lot. With our long history at Hawaiian, we've seen a lot of close calls that I didn't think we were going to be there tomorrow, and then 9/11 happened. It was wild, so wild. It's like it was yesterday,
Right off the bat, on 9/11, ALPA had pizzas lined up for us. They're saying that we're here to help you guys. What do you need? And it chokes me up because it was serious time in those days. We knew our company and our way of living was going to change. And it hurt me. And still does.
Not long after 9/11, the company put together a trip for the New York Fire Department, first responders. We got the airplanes to New York and then flew back to Hawaii and took the first responders and their families and let them relax and heal their wounds. And I think for the pilots to volunteer, it showed their ohana to people outside the islands.
Our group, as always, got together and, we joined hands and everybody, stayed tight and kept it going, No matter what hardship we got, we're going to make it through. It's in our culture. It's in our blood. That's one of the benefits why we always succeed during hard times.
When COVID was first announced, it was very shocking that everything was going to stop. It was shocking to know that the flights were canceled, that my day-to-day activities were stopping. Working during COVID, it was very surreal. Going to airports where there were no cars in the parking lots. I would go into Japan and there's no one at the airport but us. After we got back some of our flights, I actually have this great picture of all of us smiling. We were so happy because we were going back to Boston. Like, life is back.
If it wasn't for the efforts of our negotiating committee and our SPSC chairman, we would have been canceling classes. We would have been looking at furloughs. They were cutting edge with how they structured the retention of pilots through COVID.
During COVID, the MEC made a resolution and sent it out to the pilot group that they wanted to assess the pilot group to take care of those that are on furlough and pay for their premiums, their insurance premiums for the medical. And it went through and it was a big deal.
September 11th, management issues, changes in how we do our business, adding aircraft, taking aircraft away. I mean, it's always changing, and we have to realize that it's going to change, and we got a big change coming up.
Alaska is proud of their history. I know they're very proud of their history. We're very proud of our history. I am cautiously optimistic. I'm trying to see the positive, because a lot of things we can't control. We can just control how we respond to it or how we treat each other.
I think that there are a lot of similarities between the work that Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines pilots do, the routes that we fly, because we serve such an essential role in the community. I think that both airlines do a lot of community work. I see that a lot within the state of Alaska, and I know that they do similar work in Hawaii as well. So to be able to have that parallel story, I think will build something really great together.
In the islands, we have a saying where, we're all paddling in the same canoe no matter what. So we got to stay together. Everybody keep your head up, keep pushing, stay professional, and get the job done. And it's always been our benefit.
I started off on the Virgin side of the house. It was an awesome time. Great company, great atmosphere, environment. It was just pretty unique. And then we went through the merge with Alaska, and it was good. It was tough. A lot of our opinions and what we wanted out of the industry were exactly the same. And that really helped bridge that gap. You were able to take the experiences from all different backgrounds of flying and put it forward into this new contract.
You can support the JCBA, you can support the leadership, you can support the negotiating committee. Us and Hawaii, we need to be one united front.
There's a lot of uncertainty, but if we're optimistic and we are able to work with each other, not just as a pilot group, but as a whole, as two airlines coming together, I think we can make a great airline and create something very unique.
Legacy is awesome. Both of our groups can just take what's strong about our foundations and build upon that. That's where I want to see everything go, is to stand on the shoulders of giants. And we have two giants of pilot groups that we are coming from.